grow in some areas, but Wade's got to be more efficient.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the two teams. First, for the road team, the Miami Heat. Two key guys, of course, Mario Chalmers and Michael Beasley, the two second-year players. Have seen some nice progress from them. They want Quentin Richardson, the new man, and Jermaine O'Neal healthy and playing pretty well for Eric Spoelstra this season. And for the Lakers, Andrew Bynum has been superb. There's talk of his first All-Star berth. Phil Jackson said it's a possibility. Bynum says it's his goal. Ron Artest on the court has been a very easy fit-in. Certainly has created some controversy off the court this week. We'll have more on that later. Bottom line for the Lakers, they have won 7 in a row, including 6 straight here on their home floor. And here's Chalmers, one of the key young players for the Miami Heat. They're 10-8 overall and 4-3 on the road. They started very well, but they've been very uneven, especially even on this trip. Richardson out to Chalmers. Chalmers has been shooting a nice percentage. Misses his first shot. Gasol the rebound. Some of the early matchups, Jermaine O'Neal on Bynum, and Bynum has been excellent so far this season. In the top 10 in several different categories, misses that. Mark, what have you liked from Bynum that you've seen this year?
Well, you can tell he obviously worked extremely hard on the offensive end. Great patience when he catches the ball on the block, and just has a complete repertoire of making plays, whether doubled or not.
Richardson, nice job staying with the play after Artest blocked a shot. Was able to get it down low for an easy dunk for O'Neal. O'Neal's seen his better days, Jeff, in terms of being an elite player, but he's played well for them this year.
Well, and it starts with being able to be on the court as Bynum catches it too deep against Beasley. Health is a major factor, as we know, in this league. He's had many years now where he's been below average in his health with his legs and his knees, and really they're not a very deep team, so they need him to be able to provide some offense along with Beasley and Wade.
Wade missed the shot. Beasley the rebound. Wade couldn't handle it. Wade is not shooting a high percentage, certainly for him. This year he's at just under 43%. Last year when he had a spectacular season, he shot 49%.
One thing you don't realize is the great size of the Lakers. Michael Beasley is forced to defend Andrew Bynum, and the Lakers very wisely attacking that matchup.
Bynum draws the foul on Beasley. Well, you look at the Lakers defense, Jeff. Right now, they're #1 in the NBA in opponents' field goal percentage. Phil Jackson says 2 reasons: Ron Artest and the team's length.
And playing at home.
Correct.
Right, so all 3 of those things, their length is incredible. I just think that they've done a better job closing out to the 3-point line. I thought that was always a weakness of theirs. So I think they're an improved defensive team from last year's regular season.
Ryan, you saw his numbers, good numbers, but even better numbers, the Lakers defensively.
Hey, right now, at today's date, they're so far superior to every other team, with Boston the nearest team that could give them a run for their money.
Gasol chips it out on the miss, but as you said, they've played 17 games this season. Only 4 road games so far. In fact, 17 of their first 21 will be here at the Staples Center. Gasol against Beasley. Wade, good help from behind, and the Heat will come the other way. Kobe Bryant is guarding Wade and picks up his first foul.
But that last possession, Bryant realized that they had switched. Beasley went on Pau Gasol, so they posted up Gasol, looking to once again attack that matchup. Gasol just got to be more patient on the block.
O'Neal goes right at Bynum. Good ball movement. Wade slips out of his hands again. Quentin Richardson comes up short. Richardson has lost a lot of weight and had a big game the other night to win against Portland. Is back. Fisher misses an easy 2, and O'Neal the rebound. Chalmers pushing. Wade having a hard time holding on to the ball. Nice feed inside. Chalmers to Beasley.
You're right, Mike. That's 3 times already early on in this ball game that the ball has slipped out of the hands of Dwayne Wade.
Beasley trying to front Bynum. And Gasol misfires. Lakers struggling shooting, just 1 of 5. Lakers offensive shooting numbers kind of middle of the road in terms of league numbers. Bad pass from Chalmers. Artest lobs it. Oh, nice pass. And Gasol's length able to finish.
To me, they have one of the best passing catching front lines in recent memory. Gasol's an outstanding passer. Lamar Odom when he comes off the bench, and Bynum. They can pass, they can catch. Really fun to watch.
And I would totally agree. I would probably give the edge to that Sacramento King front line of Chris Webber and Vlade Divac. Two outstanding passes, but these guys not only pass the basketball, but they have great hands.
Gasol showing the great hands there as Fisher found him. O'Neal backwards to the play, and the Lakers lead by 3. Now, did you mention Artest in that? Because Phil Jackson before the game was saying one of the reasons Artest has fit in so well with his new teammates is that he's such a good passer.
Well, you saw that on the little lob pass to Gasol.
Shot clock down to 3, and Chalmers able to hit. Whereas we said Wade hasn't been shooting the ball as well. Chalmers much improved with his shot. He's at 52% this year, his second year in the league.
And talking to Coach Eric Spoelstra, he says, hey, we want Chalmers to be aggressive on the offensive end. What it would allow is create openings in the second half of ball games instead of double teaming Dwayne Wade.
Fisher to Artest. Artest spots up for 3. Wade tips it away, but right to Bynum. And the length of the Lakers down low take advantage. Well, Bynum off to a good start. Gasol and Bynum with all the Laker points early. O'Neal, left-handed, bounces around and drops in.
You have a problem on that. Everyone knows in this league that Jermaine O'Neal is going to drive left. Not 90% of the time, 100% of the time. And so as a player, if you're Bynum, like, how can you give him the middle and his left hand?
Bynum, and a blocking foul. O'Neal will pick up his first. Eric Spoelstra, the young coach for the Miami Heat, knows this is going to be a tough task for his Heat tonight as we send it over to Doris.
Mike, Kobe Bryant says of teammate Pau Gasol, his versatility is unmatched. His influence on this team obviously unquestioned. They are unbeaten since he returned from that hamstring injury 6 games ago. And in fact, if you go back to 2008, the Lakers have yet to lose more than 2 games in a row. And despite all his success, the championship last season, the guy has a humility about him that's really admirable, Mike. Before the game, the most he would say about himself, yeah, I'm a pretty decent player.
Yeah, he is so humble, but he has risen the last couple of years, and obviously winning a championship helps. But would you guys think that he has now put himself in amongst the elite in the NBA?
Well, if he's not the best power forward in the game today, he's second best to Nowitzki. I mean, to me, he's a center too. You put him anywhere you want. He's in the top 15 players in the NBA.
Well, I absolutely agree. The guy has no flaws in his game other than, the question of being soft, but has the package offensively, the length, great passer, and a big-time rebound.
And now, as you see, I think his brother is good too. I don't know if you've been. His brother is a really fine player.
His brother lost a bunch of weight from a few years ago, and he's got high skill level as well for a 7-footer. Remember, his brother was traded for him in that deal. Your all-time favorite trade, Jeff? Bryant falling away. Good defense from Wade. And a goaltending call.
That's actually the right call. Jermaine O'Neal thought the ball was falling short, went for the rebound, and actually tipped it before it got to the rim.
Let's take a look. Well,
that was going to hit the rim.
Yeah, so they have to call it. The ball, the officials have to normally let it go if it has no chance of going in. Meanwhile, Wade being hounded early, gets inside, can't get it to go. Nice tip by Beasley.
But see, even when Wade just stays on the attack, it creates offensive rebounds. He created a 3 by Chalmers early. When he attacks, good things happen for Miami.
And the Heat lead by 1. Bryant to the rim. That was easy for Kobe Bryant. His second field goal.
But you see the difference. Dwayne Wade gets into the paint. He sees a tree of 7-footers. Kobe Bryant gets to the paint. Michael Beasley is standing there. It's a different attack when you got big guys in there.
O'Neal misses. Chalmers doing a good job. O'Neal got hit, and he'll go to the free throw line, and we'll go to commercial. The Miami Heat coming off a bad loss last night in Denver. Nuggets took it to them, especially in the second and third quarters, especially in that third, trying to bounce. Back in Los Angeles, Lakers lead the Heat 15-14. This is a very important week for us here at ESPN as we ask you to help us beat cancer. To donate to the V Foundation for Cancer Research, call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V or log on to www.jimmyv.org. 100% of donations awarded to cancer research. You have been so wonderful over the years, and we ask you to continue your support during Jimmy V Week here on ESPN. Shannon Brown has checked in. Kobe Bryant picked up his second foul.
Yeah, is everybody happy that we have that 6-foul rule here in the NBA so we can have Kobe Bryant sit as Dwayne Wade plays? Everybody happy with that? Okay.
Allow me to fasten my seatbelt as I present this question to you. What would you like the rule to be?
7. QB Brown and I had a very intelligent discussion last week about this. 7 fouls. QB Brown's suggestion is go to the old ABA rule where if you play the guy past 6 and he gets a foul, then there's an additional penalty of an extra free throw or the ball out. And
like a technical foul every time they get a foul after they've gotten 6.
But why should we not? I keep going back to this. In soccer, every time you leg whip somebody, you don't have to go sit on the bench.
Well, that's like the rule if you run out of players, then a guy has to stay in with 6 fouls. If you have so many guys foul out one game, that's the same rule. That would be a pretty good addition.
I don't like either one.
Artest misfires. How come? Loose ball foul. It's going to stay here and go against Miami. It's against Jermaine O'Neal.
And I could see UB Brown having an intelligent conversation.
Oh, you're saying it couldn't have been both ways?
No, I just can't envision that.
Let's ask UB if he thought it was an intelligent conversation. Jermaine O'Neal picks up his second, so he'll go to the bench. Jamal McGlure checks into the game. They need some size against Bynum. Just over 4.5 remaining in the first. Bynum catches deep. Well, nice little jump hook. Won't go, though. Haslam the rebound. Udonis Haslam, a long-time Miami Heat staple, is coming off the bench now. Quentin Richardson in the starting lineup, as is Beasley. Chalmers launches and hits another one. That's a 3-pointer for Chalmers, and the Heat shooting well. 54% here in the opening period.
And I like the way on the previous possession that Haslam defended Pau Gasol. Fronted him, gave himself a chance to keep the ball out of the hands of the guy he was defending.
Shannon Brown, good aggressive move, lots of contact, they let it go. Chalmers, by the way, 3 3-pointers already. He's got 9. Richardson just looks like a different player with all the weight he lost. Throws it up at the basket, won't go. McGlure, a rebound, and Jamal McGlure throws it down. McGlure has not played much at all this season. In fact, he's only played 14 minutes in a couple of games. Well, this is a different matchup than the Heat have seen. Nice pass inside. Fisher to Gasol.
That's good patience and recognition by the Lakers offense. If you're going to front, we'll move the basketball, seal, and then present a target, which Gasol and Fisher did.
And both bigs, when they get those lobs, they keep the ball up high. There's no wasted motion bringing it back down where they can either be fouled and or get stripped.
Wade can't get it to go. Bynum the rebound. Wade is 0 for 4, yet the Heat still lead by 2. That's an unlikely scenario.
Well, they had a game last week where Wade was just awful as Gasol backs in against Haslam. And he was 6 for 21 against the Magic, and they won in Orlando.
Fisher steals it, ball knocks off the official Tony Brown, batted around, everybody diving on each other. And they'll call a held ball and jump it up. So we'll take a break. Pau Gasol tying the game up and looking sharp in his 7th game since missing the first 11 with that hamstring injury.
Well, the dynamic duo of bigs. You talk about Bynum and then Gasol. Fundamentally sound, keeping the ball high. Outstanding job presenting the target. And then you play one-on-one basketball. Patience, get to your spot. Great hands, great finish by Pau.
Stories they can relate to. Wants to help troubled youth that he's gone and had some speeches and talks with, and letting them know that he went through some stuff and how they can relate to him and try and overcome some adversity as much he did. Mark, you've known him. You guys have known each other since when Ron was a kid growing up in New York City. And he seems really genuine about this idea to try and help kids.
I tell you what, some people will say, why open your mouth, why say it? For some folks, you can go ahead and rehab without saying anything. For other folks, your testimony is part of the cleansing process. Ron Artest right now, I do not look at him and say, when is he going to do something crazy? He seems at peace. He seems to want to be part of a winning situation. And this is the best Ron Artest that I've ever seen him. I've known him for a long time.
Now, he did just recently go on Jimmy Kimmel with just boxer shorts on, which isn't exactly normal, but he does seem very relaxed and calm. He's admitted he's seeing a psychologist, a sports psychologist over the past year that's helped him talk through some of the things. And one interesting thing he told us was that...
Hold on, can I speak?
Well, just wait, let me get this one thing out.
All right.
He said that he's going to meet up with John Green in Detroit and talk to troubled youth in Detroit. Now, for those who forget who John Green is the gentleman at the Palace who threw the object at Ron Artest that ignited the whole brawl. Artest has recently contacted them. They've talked over and felt that what they did together, they can now help others by talking to young kids. So they're going to have a little get-together in Detroit to talk to troubled kids.
Okay.
Now you can go. It will take us to Philadelphia on Monday night. Denver at Philly on NBA TV. ESPN next Wednesday. The Hawks hosting the Chicago Bulls, 7 Eastern time. And then TNT next Thursday. Celtics and Wizards in Washington. Orlando playing the Jazz in Utah. That's all next week. The Heat have missed 3 of 6 free throws. Make that 4 of 8. Shannon Brown back out. Bynum way off the mark that time. Oh, McGlure a little high with the elbows. Ron Artest upset. Alley-oop goes. Darrell Wright missed. That looked like a pretty good pass. Just mistimed it. Couldn't throw it down. Artest goes right at Richardson. Gets his own rebound. There's the strength of Ron Artest. He was 0 for 4 before putting that put back in. Shot clock off as we wind down the first. Wade, nice feed, McGlure. Odom, that'll count if it goes. Oh, not a bad shot from three-quarters court. As the first period comes to an end. One with 8 lead changes. As the Lakers shoot just 36% from the field. First quarter complete at Staples Center. The Heat, solid showing in the opening period, up by 2. Whole thing with Wade, 0 for 4 from the field, yet they're leading the game. Spoelstra was telling us before the game, Jeff, on how he needs the team to strike more of a balance in terms of not Wade just dominating, get the other players together, yet keeping Wade so aggressive.
Yeah, that's always tough when you have a star player that a team is so dependent on. As Bryant misses a jumper, and this is a very difficult matchup for Michael Beasley. He's having to guard Shannon Brown to keep Darrell Wright on Bryant, but I think he's right. But I think the only other guy you have to make sure gets involved is Beasley, and I'm surprised Beasley against Shannon Brown is out there taking a 20-footer. Drop yourself into the post.
I totally agree. I don't think it's as much problem Beasley defending Shannon Brown. I think you have to recognize that on the other end and exploit that matchup.
Beasley has shown some growth. Just recently had a stretch of games, about 6 or 7 games, where he played extremely well. And not just scoring. Everybody knows he can score, but his rebounding and defense was solid as Darrell Wright knocks down his first field goal.
Much better that time. Inside, outside attack, puts him on the block, and then recognizes the skip pass to Wright.
Wright, who missed most of last year, only played 6 games, had knee surgery. A young player they hope can develop. He's still only 23 years old. He's guarding Kobe Bryant now. Bryant to Farmar, who lost it, and then Wright couldn't hold on. Chalmers couldn't hold on. So Lakers get a new 24. And remind you, Wednesday night on ESPN, Derrick Rose and the Bulls will take on Joe Johnson and the Atlanta Hawks from Atlanta. Hawks trying to become one of the elite teams in the East. That's NBA. Bulls-Hawks Wednesday on ESPN. Hawks losing at home tonight to the New York Knicks. Every time you think the Hawks are ready to take that next step and be as good, they have a game like that. Although everybody seems to be having games like that this year.
Well, everybody does, but I think if you lose to the Knicks at home, you forfeit your right to be on national TV the next game. So I'm taking them off. What was that, ESPN? Next week?
That's correct.
Okay, they're off.
Shannon Brown, nice move in. Knicks actually had a good week. They beat the Phoenix Suns, pounded the Suns, and then beat the Hawks in Atlanta. Heat up by 2. Just over a minute gone by here in the second. Now Beasley looking down low on Shannon Brown. Haslam. Udonis Haslam. An easy 2.
They just got to keep playing through Beasley, either in the post, the elbow area. Make him double or half double. Easy offense.
Shannon Brown off the mark. Lakers continue to shoot the ball poorly, 36%.
And like Spoelstra saying, run the same thing. Get the ball to Beasley. Eliminate the offense. You have to be patient. A careless turnover by Chalmers.
That's his 3rd turnover. Farmar gets into the paint. Good aggressive move. Farmar starting to come alive. Last several games, he's been aggressive and attacking.
Well, he's played very well the last several games, and it starts on the defensive end, picking guys up, looking to make plays and running offense.
If you want to nitpick on the Lakers' start, is that their bench has not been strong.
This is how you impact the ball game on the defensive end. All of a sudden, good things happen when you're in attack mode offensively off of turnovers.
And that's just a poor play at both ends by Chalmers. Not only did he make a poor angled entry pass that led to a steal and a layup, but the basically non-effort defensively as Farmar came down the court in transition.
Artest pokes it out of bounds.
And you see the adjustment Phil Jackson had to make. Shannon Brown had to exit the ball game. You get Ron Artest in to defend Michael Beasley.
Artest, in that one of those interviews that he's had this week, one of the things he did say is he felt he was one of the best defensive players ever to play. Is that way out of line, or is that a legitimate remark? The foul call on Farmar.
Well, at Ron Artest at his best is a lockdown defender.
McGlure and Gasol jawing at each other, as is Kobe Bryant.
And I think you have to truly believe that on a given night, there's no question Ron Artest has proven he's able to take out the other team's best offensive weapon.
He had a few years stretch there where I don't know if I've seen a better defender in terms of perimeter guy and could do so much versatility defensively. Jeff, what do you think?
Well, the thing is, I think he struggles more against guys who come off screens and catch and attack him. But you're not going to post him or just sit there and isolate him and wind up and get quality shots. He's too tough, he's too strong, he's too competitive.
He was an NBA Defensive Player of the Year back in 2004, All-NBA defensive team a bunch of times.
And you know, St. John's University, we're known for lockdown defenders.
I still can't get over the fact that he was the Big East Defensive Player of the Year. We're talking about Mark Jackson when he was at St. John's.
Voted by the coaches. You got Hall of Fame coaches. What were they looking at? Oh, my. I wonder if Artest, he wasn't probably Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East. He was only there 2 years.
Game time now at 27.
I'm trying to think, why are you hating on me, man?
I'm not hating on you. I'm just like, you have to even admit, that's a bit astounding.
Ball knocked McGrady, lost it. Farmar comes up with it. Lakers look to push. Odom to Gasol. Nice movement. And Farmar really got the ball out there to get the break going.
And how many times in this league can you see a point guard give the ball to a power forward in transition, trusting he's going to make the right play? Farmar to Odom to Gasol.
And Eric Spoelstra doesn't like this 6-0 run by the Lakers, so calls the timeout here in the second.
You got to really trust your bigs, not only their hands, but their ability to make plays. Farmer gives it up to Lamar Odom. Touch pass to Pau Gasol. That's picture-perfect fast break basketball. Lakers up 2.
Stat is there are more than 12 million cancer survivors in the country today, and many of those alive thanks to the cancer research and treatments that have gone on, much because of great programs like Jimmy V Foundation, which has funded so much of that research. So again, we ask you to be as generous as you can on Jimmy V Week.
Is it possible to watch that Jimmy V speech as Wright knocks down the jump shot without crying? I mean, I've watched it so many times and find myself tearing up no matter what.
Well, you do what he says there. You laugh, you cry, and you think while you watch that speech. And it's replayed every year on ESPN. And it's Kobe Bryant's jump shot way short. 1 point Miami lead. Impressive here. And again, Dwayne Wade without a field goal. He's on the bench right now. Offensive foul. Excellent defense from Farmar. Has been a nice spark off the bench. Chalmers' first foul.
Well, Coach, you know, in coaching superstars, this is a great situation for Eric Spoelstra because you know at some point Dwayne Wade is going to put his stamp on this basketball game.
Well, yeah, except that, Mark, I think if Odom knocks in the three, he's had too many of these type of nights. Just last week against Orlando, fortunate to win that on a putback by Beasley off an air ball. But there needs to be more efficient play because really the other guys have had very good years for what they have.
Jermaine O'Neal, one of them, he misses that. In fact, they're winning Portland to start this trip. Nice pass. Oh, and a block from O'Neal. Great recovery as Gasol looked like he had an easy two. And that just shows you the healthiness of Jermaine O'Neal. That's a play he could have made last couple of years as Haslam knocks it down. But they open up their road trip in Portland and beat the Blazers. Wade did not have a great game scoring-wise or shooting-wise as Farmar with a fancy move. Yet they beat the Blazers in a very tough place to play.
Well, you got to ask yourself, too, on that. Miami played very good. But Portland doesn't seem right now. I read their comments as O'Neal goes to the rim. Their comments are even seemingly self-centered versus what can I do to help us take the next step to become great.
Now, I think you're being very kind saying seemingly self-centered. No, they're self-centered. The bottom line is put your best players out on the floor and leave it on the floor, giving yourself the best chance to win. Not, I can't play with him or I feel better with him. No, allow the coach to make the decisions and then go out on the floor because they're too talented to not be in the hunt year in and year out from this point forward.
It's amazing what expectations can do. I mean, they were the young and up-and-coming team. Now, all of a sudden, people expect them to take that next step and be able to challenge the elite in the West.
Batum hurt. Miller in.
Outlaw hurt.
Outlaw hurt. So they are playing different guys. And I was surprised, and I think Brandon Roy is as good as anybody at his position other than, Bryant. But when he said, when they won 4 in a row, starting Blake and Andre Miller and put him at small forward, and he didn't like it. I thought there was something wrong with that statement, that you aren't just happy that you found a combination as Pau Gasol used his length again and again, that you weren't just happy that you had found a lineup that was working.
Yeah, very unusual for Roy. Gasol looking like he's about 8 feet tall down there, easily getting the rebounds. He also took a shot in the face. Artest all over Wade, and a whistle. And a 3-second violation. O'Neal was in the lane.
Well, another good play by Farmar to enter. Gasol misses one right at the rim, but quick second and third jump, keeping the ball up the entire time. This guy is really, really a fine player.
And he's a little shaken up on the play, but okay, as we've got a timeout approaching the mid-games, but winning them by a large margin. During this streak, they've been beating teams by almost 17 a game.
And I think when you stay at home for a long period of time in the NBA, you can get stale. I don't think it's a great advantage, particularly early in the year.
Well, they still have after this one. They've got 3 straight home games after this. Then they go on the road for 5. Gasol misses battle for the board. Miami comes away with it. A lot of it has to do with what's scheduled in certain buildings. They have non-NBA events at the Staples Center and other places, so they're going to go on an extended road trip soon. Now, how about Jeff, as O'Neal against Gasol makes his move, gets inside and draws the foul? How about for a young team?
Does anybody know he drives left?
I think they know. It's just not paying attention to details and not being disciplined enough to follow him.
Come on, the guy, how long has he been in the league, Mike? The guy drives left.
This is his 14th year.
And he did that in high school basketball in South Carolina, too.
Right.
What were you going to ask me? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's all right.
That was very rude of me, but I just don't understand players.
You're talking about how you don't think it's great for a team to have so many home games. How about if you have a real young team? Is that a good thing to build confidence early, get some wins? Or you feel the same way regardless of what your makeup of your team is?
Well, I think this. If you had a super young team and you're playing at home, it may be a little bit better for you. But when you go out on the road, that's the truth teller. I really think you don't learn about your team until you go out on a long road trip to know really where you're at.
I thought Mark was the truth teller.
Good point. I knew I heard it. Some great American said that.
Oh, here we go. Don't try to make up now.
Heat just 6 of 12 from the free throw line. Bryant trying to get himself going. Richardson on him. Richardson reaching. They asked Richardson, because he was guarding Karl-Anthony last night, who's the toughest cover in the NBA. He said, without question, it's Kobe Bryant. As Richardson picks up that personal foul, his first. Not the penalty yet, so it'll inbound.
I tell you, don't look behind you, but Karl-Anthony's gaining.
What a spectacular season he's having. And Dwayne Wade called for a foul. In fact, one of the Laker losses was they took a real beating in Denver. Again, now Gasol missed the first 11 games, but the Nuggets, with very few exceptions, have been ready to play every night. And that one home loss recently was to Minnesota.
You know, and George Karl really was disappointed in his club because he says, hey, I want a team that's going to show up night in and night out. We're not good enough to turn it on and off.
He had a great quote. He said last year he knew of 5 guys. He had what he called a play hard team. As our test goes left into a step back, and he likes to drive left too. But he said this year he doesn't have a play hard team yet. And that's very interesting.
Wade gets inside, spinning out to Beasley. Beasley showing that nice touch. He's got 6 points. Heat back within 2. Well, Denver was impressive last night in beating Miami.
I watched Dwayne Wade in a spectacular play like that, but I go back to coach talking about Brandon Roy being as good as once again Ron Artest goes to the left, finishes with a left hand. So you got 2 guys and no adjustments being made, coach.
I just don't get it. I mean, really now. Artest the same thing. He's going to drive left. He's going to finish left. And he gets the crowd into it. And that guy looks overjoyed. But that's a good, strong. Hey, when Artest gets a shoulder by you, there's no recovery back in front. He's too big, too strong.
O'Neal picks up his 3rd foul. And the Lakers now have their largest lead.
Yeah, but my point I was about to make is when you watch Dwayne Wade's ability to make plays offensively, also outstanding defensively.
Blocking foul on Fisher. He didn't like the call.
You know, you made the statement, coach, about Brandon Roy being as good as any other guy not named Kobe Bryant in his position. I really believe that Dwayne Wade is the 3rd best shooting guard to ever play this game.
To ever
play this game.
Okay, going back to my statement, I don't know what I was talking about. Brandon Roy is a great player. He's not up to Wade's caliber, okay? So let me reconcile that right away. And I'm going to think about your other statement.
But I got you thinking, though.
You got me thinking.
As long as you're not thinking I'm crazy for making that statement.
I'm going to say this. In that finals series against Dallas, I've never seen one man win a finals. It was the best 4-game stretch I have ever seen in the finals.
He averaged
in modern day.
He averaged 34.7 points per game in those finals. And again, that was the finals. They were ready to be down 3-0 till he took over game 3 and then dominated. Oh, nice pass, Bryant to Bynum. Lakers by 6. Lakers defense has picked up here in the second quarter. Wade goes right at Bynum. Second effort. Nope. Going to wave it off. Beasley should have let it go. Didn't need to touch it. That may have gone in. Offensive interference.
And I'm going to say this. You want a screening film, how to screen? Big cat Jamal McGlure is laying some wood, and that would have gone in. He has set some screens for Dwayne Wade on pick and rolls and on handoffs.
Artest too strong. Bryant the rebound. Artest will try again. And Wade the rebound. Lakers just 1 of 8 from 3-point range. Wade gets inside. McGlure and Fisher fight him. Look at Fisher battle. Take it away. Wade takes it away from Fisher. And it's still going to be Miami ball. Good hustle from both teams as we go to break. The Heat playing in their second game. Back-to-back, third game of this 4-game trip. Hanging tough with the Lakers. It's a 6-point game here in the second. NBA Friday from the Staples Center. The celebs are out. Dustin Hoffman, the frequent visitor. This is Lamar Odom sitting courtside. And, of course, your favorite, Jeff.
Yeah, I like that, too. Good production. Just says Jack. I like it.
In his usual seat, starting December 21st, your new home for all things LA sports is ESPNLosAngeles.com. Latest on the Lakers, Clippers, Dodgers, Angels, and LA area college sports all in one place. ESPNLosAngeles.com coming December 21st. Somebody who's been all Los Angeles since arriving from Memphis is Pau Gasol, and off to a good start tonight.
Well, with respect to Tim Duncan, this is the second big fundamental. You look at the nice bounce pass, the cut, the catch, kept it up high. And then long pass, good footwork, good pivot to finish at the rim. And then we cut off the last one, but it was a fast break where...
Offensive foul on Haslam. Dwayne Wade arguing with Tony Brown about the call. He's saying he grabbed him. A pretty heated argument from Wade and Haslam. 9th turnover for Miami, only 1 for the Lakers. Crowd calling for a tee. You know, Doris spoke of this stat at the very top. Since Gasol has been here with the Lakers, they have yet to lose 3 in a row.
You giving an assist to the Memphis Grizzlies for that?
Big assist. Fisher misses. Richardson the rebound.
You guys are always trying to get me started again on that trade.
That's the second time we started. Now, Haslam, good job answering his annoyance with that call. Coming right back, chance for a 3-point play.
All right, so I haven't been a huge supporter of Memphis, but let me say this. I like Marc Gasol as a player. I like them finding their way out of the misguided Iverson signing. That's what I like about Memphis.
All right. By the way, I don't know if you remember this. It was in a cab in Boston where I told you that Marc Gasol, I said he could be a 15 and 10 guy, and you ridiculed me.
I think you're making the story up.
No.
Yeah, I think you are, but I like Marc Gasol. He's tough. He's in shape. He can score. He rebounds. He guards his position.
And his brother very proud of him as the Lakers lead by 5. Bryant putting good pressure. Bryant still can be such a great defender. Good screen from Haslam. Wade gets inside and finishes. Tough play from everybody involved as Wade gets his first field goal of the half.
You know what I like, though? 2 guys going at it. This is what the NBA should be, where best players have to guard the other best player.
Bryant fighting. Haslam setting a good screen.
That is not true. Where does strategy come into play?
That should be a rule.
Artest won't go. Bryant the rebound. Gets it into Artest. Richardson almost steals it. Gives it right to Bynum. Bynum can't connect. Tip is good. Ron Artest on the follow.
Let me say this. You think when Jack was driving in, he said, well, I sure hope Quentin Richardson guards Kobe tonight.
Jack who? Richardson fakes the three. Gasol does a good job contesting the shot, but that leaves McGraw wide open.
They've gotten great minutes from Jamal McGraw on both ends of the floor. Big body fighting on the block, making great screens, and then rebounding the ball.
Think about it. How many veterans would be ready to play here tonight after playing only 14 minutes coming into tonight?
Right, the rebound. McGraw not only those 5 points, but the 4 rebounds. Wade spinning. Inside. Oh, strong move from Dwayne Wade.
Third best all time. Amen, Mark Jackson. Clyde Drexler might have something to say about that, but.
Well, Wade after going 0 for 6, 2 slams to get himself a couple of field goals, and it's a 1-point game. Bynum deep that time.
That's great offense right there.
Coming up at halftime, the Toyota halftime show. Matt Weiner, Jamal Mashburn, Avery Johnson. The New Jersey Nets finally get a win. You have to feel good for them. Cavaliers and Celtics cruise. Wade gets inside. McGraw tips it in. Busy night in the NBA. It's all coming up on the Toyota halftime, as the Lakers will hold it for the final shot of the half. Bryant against Wade. Bryant inside, falling down, banks it in at the buzzer. Got knocked to the ground. He wanted a call. He didn't get that, but he got the bucket. Dwayne Wade and Kobe Bryant going back and forth. Meanwhile, Kobe Bryant didn't take a lot of shots, but they defended him pretty well, sending a second guy at him quite often. And we're ready to begin the third quarter. Again, Miami playing last night. They got blasted in Denver by the Nuggets. The Lakers hadn't played since Tuesday as they try and win their 8th in a row. They're currently on a 7-game winning streak. Beasley and Gasol. Beasley trying to get a little physical with Gasol.
And Bryant was open for the lob on the initial backspin.
Wade blocks the shot. O'Neal the rebound. Excellent defense from Wade. Bryant wanting a foul. Wade drives. Pass deflected by Kobe Bryant. He's 3rd in the NBA in steals. 3-on-2. A wide open jump shot won't go. Artest blocked. Beasley. And Fisher banks it in. Well, they're letting him play here to start the third quarter.
And if you're Dwayne Wade, you got to run back. You stayed down there at the whole end as the play kept going and going. That's unacceptable for a best player.
Artest now on Wade. Wade the runner.
And once again, that length. Andrew Bynum on the back line of the defense, contesting the layup.
Beasley battling. Gasol tips it away. Richardson comes up with it. Wade just 2 of 10 from the field. Again, his shooting percentage is low this year, certainly compared to last season. Richardson one dribble, banks it in. Eric Spoelstra was saying that he feels teams this year are looking to take the ball out of his hands much earlier in the game than in the past. Artest couldn't finish.
Well, teams are realizing what the Dallas Mavericks did not realize when you talk about the finals. They allowed Dwayne Wade to beat him single-handedly. Once again, Wade just trotting back down the floor, but teams are forcing other guys to step up and win ball games.
Gasol gets the jumper to go. Lakers back up 5.
And also, the quality of level of play that he's playing with now is much different. That's why I think it's so important for him to set the right tone, whether it's going well for him individually or not. He's got a lot of young guys around as O'Neal knocks in the face-up jump shot. And he's got to show him the right way. It's not acceptable not to run back.
It's rare that he doesn't show them the right way.
No, that's not true, Mike. He actually, in transition, he's been slow for a number of years. I would say for the most part, you're right as far as passing the ball, coming ready to win. But his effort in transition sometimes lacks.
Miller's team right now down by 5. Chalmers getting it to O'Neal. O'Neal, nice move, drives left again. This time kicks it out. Richardson took a hit, knocks it down. Quentin Richardson with his second field goal.
And Quentin Richardson has played good basketball for them this year. He's always been a tough, competitive defender.
Bryant gets in, missed up, it goes in. Gasol was ready to tip it, but wisely took his hand away.
And that's an excusable defense. You cannot allow Kobe Bryant to penetrate the seams of your defense before help comes.
Bryant on Wade. Here's the double with Bynum. Beasley. Boy, he just has such a soft touch for release.
And really, Coach, Dwayne Wade is an underrated passer. The ability to pass over that double team really makes guys around him better.
Well, remember, his first year in the league, he played as a point guard.
Bynum, count it, and a foul.
Dwayne Wade can play the point, and even when he's at the 2, he's a playmaker, and I think they'd be better served having him in the middle of the floor running pick and roll. But this guy is, Bynum must be bleeding.
Yep.
No question about it. The foul on the right arm by Beasley. Bynum finishing with that jump hook. You can tell the way that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the former great NBA player, all-time great, spent time with this young man, put him in position to be a threat on the low block.
And I know it's, and I don't know if it'd be considered the same thing, but what Jabbar is going through fighting leukemia, I mean, yeah, it's a terrible disease too. You know, I feel for him. I saw him out before the game, you know, and you don't know what to say to somebody who's battling through, but I'm surprised he's not working, and maybe it's because of what he's fighting through personally with his disease, that he's not still working with the Lakers on a more regular basis.
Well, he went public with his circumstance to kind of, again, get the word out. Something that's probably hard for him. He hasn't been, obviously, throughout his life and career, a guy that likes to keep his privacy. Second free throw goes in.
No, but to touch on that, Mike, I was listening to the captain talk about how many lives he impacted by coming out and talking about it. Yep. So many people talked about how that inspired and encouraged them.
Beasley gets inside. Nice feed from O'Neal. Back within 4 again. Beasley, the first heat player in double figures. They've got great balance scoring. 10 for Beasley. Chalmers has 9, 8 for O'Neal. A host of players have 7. Ball tipped by O'Neal. Picked up by Wade. Jermaine O'Neal playing a solid game. That's only the second Laker turnover of the game. How about Cleveland today? Nice feed. O'Neal won't go. Cleveland didn't have a turnover in the second half. I think Dan Schulman said that as they were going off the air in their victory over the Bulls. I want to remind you, Saturday night, the final piece of the championship puzzle will be in place as Heisman candidate Colt McCoy leading the Texas Longhorns in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game. They'll face a tough Nebraska defense. Championship weekend, win and you're in. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game on ABC Saturday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Kobe Bryant's picked up his 3rd foul, and we go to Doris Burke.
Jermaine O'Neal playing tonight's game with a bit of a heavy heart. He will miss Sunday's game in Sacramento. He will return home to South Carolina. An ailing uncle has been taken off life support. He admitted to our J.A. Adonde that this has been an extremely difficult time emotionally for he and his family. And obviously, guys, he's played well tonight as he did after returning to that Washington game, but that puts the Miami Heat one guy down.
Yeah, he's flown back and forth a couple of times to South Carolina. In fact, last week in Washington, he only arrived at the game or back in Miami a couple hours before tip-off. As the ball goes out of bounds, was it kicked? Tony Brown asked for help. Yep, Wade kicked it.
You know, Mike, as we talk about that, I want to send out thoughts and prayers to Charles Barkley and his family. He lost his grandmother, and just let him know we're thinking about him.
Gasol, and Beasley fouls him on the entry pass. Second team foul, third on Beasley.
You know, Beasley is just a natural born scorer, but defense comes difficult for him. This has been a huge learning process for him. Not only understanding individual defense, but team defense. It just doesn't come to him naturally like some other guys in this league.
Fisher, the floater. Fisher got hit. The veteran's going to go to the free throw line as Chalmers picks up his second foul. And Derek Fisher, now 35 years old, his 14th year in the league. This is his last year of his contract, but he wants to play a couple of more seasons. Obviously still productive, making so many big shots again last year in the playoffs to get his 4th championship ring. One of his big jobs, though, is going to be as the head of the Players Association. Wants to become or stay the president and help the new collective bargaining agreement, which is going to come up in a couple of years. 4-point Laker lead. Just over 5 minutes gone by here in the third. Wade. Nothing coming easy for Wade tonight. Bryant. O'Neal tried to keep it alive. Still tipped. Bryant comes down with it. Goes back up and got hit.
I'm just going to say it one more time. If you're the best player on the team, you have a responsibility to play every possession like you would want your teammates to play. Dwayne Wade, that's the 3rd time in 5 minutes that he has either trotted back or not crossed half court. And it's just not right.
Well, you make a great point. One thing in talking to Wade before the game, he says, hey, I'm a leader. I tell guys when I don't see something on the floor that I want to see, that's winning basketball, and I fully expect them to do the same thing to me. Somebody in a black jersey has got to go up to Dwayne Wade, feel comfortable and confident enough to say, hey, we are in this ball game. We need you to give all-out energy and effort to put us in position to win.
I'm about to hop over the scores table myself and just tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, and he knows this. I mean, if he watched the film, he would be disgusted with himself.
Bryant is guarding him now. Putting some pressure on. Beasley makes his move. One dribble, quick pull-up. Well, he is just a talented offensive player. He's smiling at the Laker bench. Who knows if they were saying anything to him.
Yeah, but one thing Coach talked about is his problem on the defensive end. I would say, hey, it's not about whether you get it or not. Have the first rule of being the hardest working guy on the floor, and then we can accept some mistakes defensively.
And you know what they say, the coaching staff, Bryant makes a big-time shot, is that he is ultimately coachable. That you can get on him, you can drive him, and his problems have been more as much off the court as anything. So that's a good start when you're coachable.
O'Neal blocked by Bynum. First rejection for Bynum. Fisher pulls up for 3. And Wade the long rebound. Yeah, the Heat doing a good job on the boards. +3. Wade to the basket. Goes at Gasol. Can't get it to fall. He thought he got fouled. I'll say this. They're laying both ways. They're letting him play. Not calling a lot of the ticky-tack stuff. As we'll have a timeout. Kobe Bryant now with 14 points, Jeff.
Well, here he's isolated against Wade. Balance is up. That's a big-time shot. That's not a foul, though. Both stars are looking for calls. They're not fouls.
Back in Los Angeles, got to feel good for the Nets. Meanwhile, Dwayne Wade and the Lakers down by 6, Mark.
And here's what we're talking about. Dwayne Wade feels like a shove from Ron Artest. Upset, that's not a foul, but no matter what, whatever you're thinking right there, your job is to get back on the defensive end. You're letting down not only the 4 guys on the defensive end, but the other 11 guys in uniform. Get back. Your theory is, hey, coach, I got fouled. No matter what, give me a chance to coach everybody else. If I don't accept it from the 12th guy, I can't accept it from my best player. Dwayne Wade knows better.
One of the greatest axioms in coaching is you cannot accept in victory what you wouldn't accept in defeat, as Bynum catches a lob from Artest, another fine pass by Artest. And it's really true. And especially with your best players, you can't accept from them what you wouldn't accept from lesser players.
Fisher pokes it away from O'Neal. Lakers with their largest lead. Bad pass from Fisher. Richardson was like a cornerback ready to intercept. He could see it coming. Wade, oh, nice move. Bynum gets a hand on, and Wade's going to go to the free throw line. Bynum picks up his second foul.
And this is a big-time move. This is what makes Dwayne Wade so tough to defend. Stopping on a dime, being able to change directions, and then finishing at the rim. Takes the hit, follows through with the field goal attempt, going to the line. Creates so much pressure on your defense trying to contain him.
And another good screen by the bigs of Miami. That time, it was Jermaine O'Neal with the solid screen to free Wade.
Meanwhile, the Heat hurting themselves at the free throw line. They're now 10 of 18. Wade is 2 for 5. Beasley's going to sit down. Haslam is in.
If I'm Dwayne Wade, one way I try to get myself off offensively in this game is pushing the ball in transition. Get stops and then put pressure on this Laker defense. Too many times they're walking it up the floor. Take advantage of the size of the Lakers and push it down their throat in transition.
Because if you don't get them in transition, when their defense gets set, they're too long, too big, too strong, and too competitive.
Odom is in right now. Gasol sitting. Nice drive, Artest. He thought he got hit in the head. Wade pushing again. Richardson. Good hustle from Artest to get out. Richardson was ready to hit a three. Haslam. That's Haslam's shot. Miami back within 5.
You can make a tape for younger players tonight on Kobe Bryant's on-ball defense. He's down in a stance, he's moving the feet. The only time Wade had really gotten by him is with the use of a high screen. But when it's been one-on-one, Kobe Bryant's defense has been terrific.
Yeah, Wade called for the foul here. That's his second. Team now in the penalty.
Again, Bryant, the ball gets kicked to Wade. Good stance, no middle drive. Just, the whole possession was a good sequence to follow.
Well, he loves these type of games where he gets to face a guy like that. And he's a good buddy. They were good friends in Beijing. His teammates winning the gold medal.
And Coach, that's something we talked about in the past where Ron Artest talks about being one of the greatest defenders ever. Give me one possession and this guy here is as good as anybody if you need a stop.
No question. He'd be on my all one possession defensive team.
Hits a pair of free throws, and it's up to 7. Under 4 minutes remaining in the third. The Heat have been hanging around. Richardson took his eye off it. Couple of bad passes there. Bryant goes right at Wade. Misses the layup. Good defense from Wade.
Lakers doing a good job of bringing a guy over and basically zoning the area when Wade has the basketball. So it takes away his aggressiveness, realizing that help is coming from every angle.
O'Neal telling to get out of the way. Steps back, knocks down the jumper as the shot clock expires. 12 for O'Neal. Every time it looks like the Lakers are going to go off and put some distance between them and the Heat, Heat come right back. Bryant doubled. Bynum. Wright comes in for a nice rebound. Again, the Lakers came into this game as the #1 team in defense opponents' field goal percentage, but the Heat shooting 50% from the field. Richardson up and under, blocked with a foul. Quentin Richardson is going to go to the free throw line with his team down by 5. The Heat hanging tough despite a very frustrating game for Dwayne Wade. He's just 2 of 12 from the field. But he never gets to the free throw line. In fact, in 393 minutes, he's only taken 1 free throw. That was last night, and it was on a technical foul on George Karl of the Nuggets. So he's going to finally get to the line there. Meanwhile, what an offseason he had. He got traded 4 times in 2 months. And the only team that had the press conference to announce the trade was the Heat. He kept going back and forth, part of the salary cap. Bouncing around a little bit. He said he didn't mind, but he likes where he wound up. And he's in great shape and doing some good things.
I think he lost 5 to 10 pounds on every trade.
Brown travel.
But that skip pass that Gasol threw off the trap of the pick and roll, right on target to our test. I mean, again, subtle little things that wouldn't turn into any stat. Then you understand why there's such an efficient offensive team.
Good help defense from Gasol there. Test on Richardson. Test fighting over the screen, harassing Richardson. He's going to have to put it up. Haslam will have to shoot it. Fires away. And a 24-second violation. Excellent defense led by Ron Artest.
And you can really bottle up that possession defensively for the Lakers. 5 guys committed to containing the basketball, helping, contesting, and then closing out by attacking the board.
And you just see how limited Miami is offensively. If Dwayne Wade can't create a play off the dribble, you're not going to get anything.
Wade the deflection, Wade the catch, and how about this? It's a 1-point game again. A 9-2 run by Miami. And here with a minute and a half to go in the third, Heat right in it, despite a 3-for-13 game from Dwayne Wade.
And really the danger is anytime you're playing against a team that has a guy that can take over the game, you're the Lakers, you're flirting with danger.
7th rebound for Quentin Richardson. Wade goes right at Gasol. Count it, and a foul. And the Heat have regained the lead.
Well, again, another solid screen by Jamal McGrady, which gave Wade the running start at Gasol. And I really do think, and again, we see the good defense, the deflection by Wade, and the release for the dunk. If Wade gets a running start at you off the high pick, it's very difficult to ask the big man to be able to contain him. Bryant wants to establish good intensity. I may back up my defense to the three-point line to prevent the running start at my big guy.
Well, Heat really battling here. 12-2 run. Gasol the rebound, and Gasol gets hit.
Well, you make a good point, because the best thing to do is to back up if you're Bryant. If you allow the screen to be at half court, now Gasol has no choice. There's no way he can contain him. Not even a guard can contain him in that situation. The best thing is to basically drop down and then zone that area with Bryant and Gasol.
Gasol hits. Remember, the Heat got whacked 114-96 last night. And after the game, Eric Spoelstra said the effort was disappointing. Well, the effort is certainly here tonight in the second game of the back-to-back of the Staples Center.
See, but you almost have to say that as a coach. What are you going to say? My talent level is disappointing? You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's code for, I got to drive these guys to milk every ounce of energy because we're just not talented enough. Hey, give Denver credit. They're a really fine team.
Technical foul called on Lamar Odom, as they thought they got a clean swipe of Dwayne Wade on the ball.
That's funny, because Tony Brown could have teed up Bryant too, but Lamar Odom got the short end of the stick.
I was thinking the same thing. So Wade will go to the line.
I wonder if there's ever been a double technical simultaneously as Wade misses. That's a foul.
Well, they've let them play pretty much all night.
I mean, come on, that's not even a hard call.
And to answer your question, I'm sure it has. I don't know if it's simultaneous, but if both guys
erupt, you should be able to call a technical on both. And then double it. No, hold on.
You made a good point.
No, just listen to me. You don't.
He's not satisfied with just a good point. He's got to go overboard.
No, it's not going over. But when a guy obviously fouled him, let's say you're reviewing it after the game, there should be a double penalty for Lamar Odom right there. Like somehow, like fine him for complaining when you have no right.
What about if you know it was a foul, you get a basket, and you don't say anything as the team that benefited from it, like LJ's 4-point play?
He was fouled.
Shannon Brown, short.
See, you're questioning Jess Kersey's integrity, and I hope the NBA retroactively finds you now.
The way he kicks it out to Richardson. By the way, the Lakers, Richardson can't connect, and a loose ball foul is going to go against Miami. Lakers are 1 of 12 from three-point range. Remind you, ESPN, your NBA destination Wednesday night. Derrick Rose and the Bulls go to Atlanta to face Joe Johnson and the Hawks. Atlanta trying to become one of the elite teams in the Eastern Conference. NBA Wednesday, Bulls-Hawks on ESPN and ESPN360.com at 7 Eastern.
So I guess my suggestion about the Hawks losing their privilege of playing on ESPN has not been taken.
The programming department says buzz off. Gasol hits the first free throw.
How could you not put him on ESPN? One of the best teams in basketball. Very exciting, explosive on the offensive end, well coached.
I agree with all those things. And yet, you lose to the Knicks at home. You have forfeited your right. It's not a permanent lifetime ban.
As I said earlier, it's a big win, a big week for the Knicks.
It is. Hey, they played a great game against Phoenix. And they didn't play that badly in Orlando in the first half. Ran out of steam, tough back-to-back.
Atlanta has had some terrific games, but they've also had some lemons. As the game here tied at 76, shot clock is turned off. Miami trailed by as many as 8 here in this period. And now with a chance to go to the fourth leading. Wade to Haslam. Haslam inside, blocked from behind. Odom with the rejection. Brown, will he get it off? No, that won't count. Nice block from Lamar Odom. As Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, former USA Olympic teammates, going at each other pretty hard tonight here at the Staples Center. Wade struggling shooting, just 4 of 14. The two pals trying to get a win for their respective clubs. Miami trying to bounce back after a beating last night in Denver. A strong road performance. We head to the fourth quarter in Los Angeles. Lakers, Heat, all tied at 76.
I just felt that Phil would have been anti-gun. Here he is. He's going to pull out the guns in a gun reference. I was shocked by that.
Boy, you've got guys who love crunch time, fourth quarter on the floor. Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, they battle each other frequently tonight, guarding each other quite a bit. Wade right now on the bench as we begin the fourth. Lakers come into the game with the best record in the NBA, a 7-game winning streak, but they're having a fight tonight here on their home floor. Nice pass inside. McGlure gets hit. And Jamal McGlure, as you guys have pointed out, has been a nice impact off the bench tonight.
And if I'm Eric Spoelstra, my rest for Dwayne Wade is brief because I'm going to have trouble creating offense unless it's played through Beasley in the post. And you cannot allow the Lakers to get a 4 to 6 point separation and then bring him back.
And we look at Beasley on the block as McGlure misses the foul shot. Now he's being defended by a very active Kobe Bryant.
McGlure, as we mentioned, coming into this game, had only played 14 minutes. This is his first free throw of the year. He only had 4 points and 4 rebounds so far on the season. Tonight, though, 7 points, 5 rebounds. But the free throw shooting abysmal for Miami, 16 of 27. They should be up by a decent amount. Bryant against Darrell Wright. Leans in, draws the foul, count it, and one. Tough matchup for that young man.
A tough matchup for anybody. This is just not right. No pun intended. Kobe Bryant, the ability, everybody get out my way. They're going to play me one-on-one. Gets the defender in the air, takes the hit, knocks down the jumper.
And while the Heat have struggled from the line, the Lakers have made 15 straight free throws. They're 16 of 17 overall. And no double-digit leads. This game has been close throughout. Chalmers had the early start with the threes. Good pass to Haslam. Can't connect, and Farmar the rebound. Farmar was a good spark off the bench in the first half. Bryant for three. Puts it in. Kobe Bryant, 6 quick points in just over a minute.
This is a tough matchup for Michael Beasley. Caught on Bryant in transition. Airspace. Easy knockdown three by Bryant, who's really struggled with his three-point shooting so far this year.
He was doing it after Kobe's last three, but it made Bryant laugh before the timeout. Makes him laugh as he comes back out on the floor.
I think it was because he was trying to guard him.
Wade pass deflected, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Farmar. Turnovers have been crucial for the Lakers. Again, they haven't shot the ball well, but they only have turned it over 5 times. 15 to shoot. And you can see Wade quickly back in the game after starting the 4th on the bench. Alley-oop to Wright. They're going to jump it up.
They did the same thing in a game last week where Wright back cut off the high pick and roll, and he missed another dunk. What do you always say about the patient and
the operation was success. The patient died.
Any two can jump in that instance. Shannon Brown got some good size to defend Wade. Deflects it. Wade gets it back. Chalmers hits a three. Chalmers has been quiet since the first couple of minutes when he hit 3 threes. Knocks down his 4th of the game. And that's a big one as the Heat needed a bucket. Wade back on Bryant. Foul on Wade. 3 on Wade. Second team foul.
It really shows you the smarts of Kobe Bryant. The high IQ, understanding that Wade was going to be much more physical, in attack mode, willing to take the hit, becomes the aggressor, and forces the foul.
Wade pokes it out. Still Laker ball. Wade saying off Kobe. Kobe saying no way, no way.
But you just look in his eyes. You know he wants the basketball and wants to take over this ball game.
Wade, not that time, right, the rebound. Hey, Mark, when you're going up against somebody who you were very friendly with and good friends, what was the dynamic there?
Oh, it was nice, but we were going after it. I treat him the same way I treat anybody else, and we could have fun and laugh and joke afterwards, even between. But the bottom line is I was in attack mode and I was willing to do whatever it would take to win a ball game and to compete.
Wright gets up on Brown. Overall, the Heat defense has been very good tonight. Gasol up top. Farmar left open. Nails a three. Jordan Farmar with his 3rd field goal. The Lakers back up by 4.
But Mike, you make a good point because there are some guys that shouldn't talk to their opponents. I was a guy that felt very comfortable talking, communicating, and trying to get you off of your game.
Some guys can get distracted easily. Gasol with the nice block, running the floor down the other way. And then we have a foul called on Beasley after everybody got tangled up. That's 4 on Beasley and 3 Heat team fouls.
And It's just good basketball. Fundamentally sound, patience, waits till the cut is moved, forces the double team, and then passes on point to Jordan Farmer. Stellar offense by the Lakers.
Lakers 1 of 12 from 3 through the first 3 quarters. They're 2 for 2 here in the fourth. Farmer, the drives. Good aggressive move from Farmer as O'Neal picks up his 4th foul.
What's great about that move is understanding I'm going up against a big guy rather than trying to climb over on top of him. What I'm going to do is take it right to his body and force the contact. That's good basketball by Jordan Farmer. Take it to the body of O'Neal, get to the free throw line.
Well, 15 free throws in a row. That streak ends. NBA TV on Monday. Nuggets in Philadelphia. Allen Iverson in his first game back with the Sixers. And ESPN next Wednesday. Chicago and Atlanta. And then TNT next Thursday. Celtics and Wizards from Washington, D.C. And the Magic playing the Jazz in Utah.
And it's great to have Allen Iverson back in basketball. I tell you what, he could play for me any day of the week.
Very emotional press conference from Iverson. Nice pass inside. Wade misses the layup. He thought he was fouled. Here comes Brown the other way. Terrell Wright is guarding Bryant. Wade is on Odom. And a 3-second violation on Lamar Odom. It's only the 6th Laker turnover. I think I've seen more offensive 3 seconds calls this month than all of last year.
I think you're the only guy counting.
I'm thinking about Allen Iverson in Philly. I think it's sold a lot of tickets. I think it's brought interest to a fan base that is apathetic right now. But I wonder, in the long term, what it does for them. Or even in the short term, maybe they win a few more games. But I'm not sure what it accomplishes.
Well, it gets you in the playoffs.
No chance.
No chance. You understand the Charlotte Bobcats were in the playoffs prior to tonight?
Well, if you could, all right, good point.
Thank you. Allen Iverson can still play. There's no question about that. I wanted to go on record before he even enters the ball game.
Well, there's no question he can still play, but at what cost to your team? Or what benefit is the question?
Good defense from Wright. Bryant hits it as the shot clock expires. 8 points already here in the 4th quarter. Lakers by 7.
Let's just hope it ends good for him in Philadelphia. And for that.
They don't sign him if Lou Williams doesn't get hurt. The ball deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. And the Heat will inbound with 6 left on the 24.
Now this is excellent defense by Wright. Stays down, contests. That's just better offense. Give me better offense than good defense any day of the week. And Bryant loving the groove that he has right now.
Artest comes in for Shannon Brown. Wright sits down for the Heat as Quentin Richardson back in. Again, Miami with 6 to shoot here. Chalmers, nice feed. Richardson rushed the shot. Rebound, Artest. Two exciting stars isolated. Wade got him on the arm. All ball sends Wade to Tony Brown. But Tony Brown's not the one that made the call. 4 fouls on Wade.
And here's what I don't like with the Heat defense on that possession. Dwayne Wade playing Kobe Bryant one-on-one. Nobody communicating, nobody talking, yelling, where's the help coming from? You're by yourself. No communication, and Bryant's able to create contact again. And Coach, you know, you coached it. The best defensive teams talk. Dwayne Wade unaware, there's no help, nobody communicating, doesn't understand there's no help on the baseline, no help in the middle, only Bryant sees it. You're leaving a guy out on an island all by himself.
You're absolutely right about the talk. You've got to be able to talk early, loud, and continuously. You've got to do it as a habit, and that by itself is very intimidating offensively.
This equals the large
Championship game again. The guy wins 10 games or more every year. And he's not talked about like the Urban Meyers. I don't understand that.
Did you talk to Kirk Herbstreit today?
No. You know, I'm a Longhorn fan, hook 'em horns and all that.
I agree with you, but let's get a playoff.
I agree with that. That's a joke. who is your Heisman winner? Mine's that running back for Stanford or Colt McCoy. I haven't decided.
Kobe Bryant thought he got a clean steal. These two are really going at each other as Bryant picks up his 4th foul.
I think he got this clean.
This is pretty close. So way back to the line. He's only 6 of 10
That's
from the
clean.
line. Yep.
I can't let you get away with this. You can't say that running back for Stanford.
Toby Gebhardt.
Okay, well, say it.
Well, everybody knows that who follows college football.
I know, but you can't just say that. I'll say that quarterback for Florida.
But you're also talking to people who don't know college football.
All right,
so
well, let me give you this. Top freshman quarterback. Hey, Jim Harbaugh, Notre Dame, take notice. You want to coach? That guy can coach.
This guy, now you're an agent.
I'm just saying. Jim Harbaugh at Stanford has turned around a moribund program.
Bryant gets inside. Lefty hook shot rolls in. Kobe Bryant gives the Lakers their largest lead of the game. He's got 11 points here in the 4th quarter.
That's a wow shot right there.
O'Neal. Richardson. Oh, tough shot. How'd he get that free? And Gasol took a shot in the face. And he's hurt. Athletic trainer Gary Vitti quickly rushes out to see Gasol. I don't know how Richardson got that shot off.
He used to be a force in the low post when he first came in to the NBA. Very strong down there.
Oh, it was Odom trying to block Richardson's shot. So Gasol still down as they attend to him, and we'll be back after the break. 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Odom has them trying to stay with him and tripped up. Odom coming off the bench once again now that Bynum is healthy. Odom in the 6th man role. He's been a little up and down this year, Mark, so far.
Well, he has. You know, it's been a long summer for him. You know, life was changed. But he's a guy that certainly Phil Jackson can trust. His versatility to play multiple positions. And you know he's going to come around.
Are you saying he had a long summer because he got married and his life is difficult now?
No, not difficult at all. It's a tremendous step for him. And actually had an opportunity to go to the wedding, and the guy was absolutely
what
thrilled.
are you dropping names? You know I wanted to be there, right? And now you're just rubbing the salt into the wound. I'm really disappointed that Kardashians, as we see his wife somewhat in there, like I didn't get on the list.
No, why don't you really tell the people that's listening that as I'm at the wedding, you're actually texting me wanting me to give you detail.
I did. I was embarrassed. Made her dress.
Wade gets it inside. Nice finish for O'Neal. Pretty pass from Dwayne Wade for his 7th assist.
Mike, the guy texted me. It was like, I want every detail.
I'm not surprised. You read all the gossip magazines on the plains. Bryant inside. Tough shot. Way off the mark. Nearly taken away by Bynum, but O'Neal holds on.
Great defense by Wade right there. Contestant without fouling.
Wade inside. Nice pass. Count it and a foul. Beautiful lead bounce pass from Wade. And now Odom and O'Neal shoving each other. Technicals will be handed out here. He cut it to 4. Odom already has a technical, so if he gets a double technical, he's ejected. Quentin Richardson laughing as he's trying to calm down Jermaine O'Neal. A strong move from O'Neal. It's a great pass from Wade.
Again, Wade shows his point guard type skills running the pick and roll.
Well, there's no question Jermaine O'Neal will receive a technical foul because he actually shoves Lamar Odom.
Now they'll probably give it to Odom for retaliating, shoving back, but O'Neal was the first one to do it. I think Odom took exception to O'Neal maybe kind of hanging on him after he dunked it. Let's look. Yeah, that's how it started. It didn't look like O'Neal was doing anything particular there. Odom's had something to say, and then O'Neal threw the first shove. So technical foul on both. So Odom's done. 2 technical fouls, you're automatically ejected. You won't shoot free throws on double technicals. So Odom is gone after 21 minutes of action. O'Neal will just shoot the 1 free throw on the personal foul.
This always puzzles me. A guy gets thrown out and they give him an ovation. Like he did something great for his team. If Gasol couldn't come back in, you'd be playing Josh Powell now or Artest at the 4. What do the fans think is so great about taking a technical foul in the 4th quarter when you already have one?
You've just hurt your team because your services can no longer be used. I thought the same thing last night. Kevin Martin got thrown out in the game, and they're giving him a huge ovation as he's walking on.
Yeah, but that's at least a 25-point win. The game is in the balance right here.
O'Neal is, he batted right out to Bryant, although Wade is back there. With free throw shooting has really hurt the Miami Heat. They've missed 13. Artest won't go, and O'Neal another rebound. 16 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, and a block shot for Jermaine O'Neal. Wade. Inside pass to Haslam, and Haslam is fouled. Wade seeing the double team and finding the open man.
And that's exactly what we talked about earlier. Underrated passing ability by Dwayne Wade. The ability to take the double team and still thread the needle. Outstanding job. This is high hands by Kobe Bryant. Pau Gasol active, but he puts it on point. That's why if you're the other players in Heat uniform with Wade with the basketball, your job is to be ready to be aggressive off the catch.
Once again, though, can't take advantage. Now 17 of 31 from the free throw line. The Heat this year as a team, just average free throw shooters. They're 17th in the league.
I play with great players, Coach, that don't want to be doubled because they're afraid of the pressure. Here's a guy that's willing to take the pressure and comfortable.
They're willing to make the pass.
And to me, in many games, their best finishing unit is when Wade's at the point.
Haslam fouls Bynum on the entry pass. The Heat are in the penalty. So Bynum will go to the line, where he's 4 for 5 so far tonight. Reminder, be there live for all the action. Go to NBA.com/tickets now to reserve your seats to see your favorite NBA team take the court. The NBA, where memories happen. Friday night at the Staples Center, 2nd game of our ESPN doubleheader, and it's turned out to be a good one as Bynum puts the Lakers up by 4. (17-7) for Bynum tonight. Says his goal is to make the All-Star team this year. He's on his way. Artest is now on Wade. Wade looking, falling away. Tough shot, won't go. Haslam tip, won't go. Gasol lost it, and it falls into the hands of Artest. Miami Heat battling here on the road. The 2nd game of a back-to-back. 3rd game of a 4-game West Coast trip. Alley-up to Bynum. And Bynum just whacked Haslam, and now Haslam will shoot free throws.
And that was a great play by Quentin Richardson, putting his body on Andrew Bynum to create the turnover, and then Haslam coming back from trapping Bryant all the way above the 3-point line, back in to make the hustle play. Look at it. Haslam's effort as that ball is deflected. Coming back in, taking the hit, and drawing the foul.
But Coach, that defense is not going to cut it overall. You're trapping Kobe Bryant too far away from the basketball. You're talking about skilled big men that can pass. The Miami Heat got away on that possession.
The hard part is you don't want Bryant to shoot late, and yet with Fisher spotting up, Artest 40% three-point shooter, and two bigs who can catch, pass, and finish, there aren't many good answers.
Back to a 2-point game. Haslam 12 points off the bench. Heat haven't turned it over yet here in the fourth quarter. Bryant spinning, falling away, puts it up, won't go. Haslam another rebound.
Great individual defense by Dwayne Wade.
Inside, Wade can't get it to go. Haslam on the follow, and they've tied it up. The Heat were down by 9 with just under 6 minutes remaining. It's now even at 93.
And that's as good as an assist right there. Driving it and bringing a second man to you, opening up the second shot.
Bynum, nice move, up and under. Pretty play from Andrew Bynum.
I think it's safe to say the big fella is going to get his wish. He's going to be the starting center for the Western Conference in the All-Star game.
19 tonight. Fisher defending Chalmers. Chance of defense from the Staples Center crowd. Wade maneuvers out to Richardson. Puts up a three. Puts it in. Quentin Richardson gives the Heat their first lead of the fourth quarter.
Again, off of the dribble penetration of Dwayne Wade, making plays down the stretch.
And Richardson making plays at both ends of the floor. 2.5 remaining. Bynum. Bryant was open for three. Fisher didn't get it to him in time. Now Wade gets up there. Bryant pulls up. Won't go. Back of the rim. Fisher the offensive board. Bryant, ball deflected, but it gets to Fisher. Bryant on the drive, flips it up, banks it in, and a foul. Sensational move from Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, mama, there goes that man. Dribble penetration, the circus shot over Jermaine O'Neal, gets the basket and the contact. Bryant, 13 big points in the fourth quarter. Outstanding job of sealing the deal. 2 minutes left, Lakers up 1. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Jermaine O'Neal, an emerging Michael Beasley, and an absolute star in Dwayne Wade. And then a bunch of just hard-working role players, and I think they max out what they have.
I think they have a heck of a coach, too, and the youngest coach in the NBA.
Well, I think that's why you max out, because you have a great organization that demands excellence to whatever level of potential you have.
30 points for Bryant, 2-point game. Wade to the basket. And a blocking foul. He got under. Kind of lulled you to sleep there and then just exploded. As Artest, I believe, picks up the foul.
And this time they run a screen and roll with Mario Chalmers setting it, who does a great job in setting the screen, and then Wade drives it hard to his left and draws the contact.
But when you talk about coaching, that's a subtle adjustment coming out of the timeout. Rather than having a big set the screen, you go guard on guard. Derek Fisher caught by surprise, and Wade, the ability to come off of that screen.
And interesting, Bynum was out on that possession, which took away the extra shot blocker, wanting to play Artest against Udonis Haslam. So back in for offense, an interesting substitution by Phil Jackson to take Bynum out.
Probably thinking a little bit too much, trying to switch every pick and roll, but Bynum's presence along with Gasol in that paint makes it awfully tough for smaller guys to finish.
Wade now 19 points, 9 assists, and the 7 rebounds. All tied up, under 2 to play. Lakers with a 7-game winning streak. Best record in the NBA, but they have their hands full tonight. Fisher steps back, fires. Short. Richardson another rebound. Boy, he's made big plays. 8 boards for Quentin Richardson. Rebounding has been huge tonight for Miami against a much taller Laker team. Wade to the basket, lays it in, and the Heat go up by 2. Timeout Lakers. Makes it look easy, Mark.
We can rave all we want about Dwayne Wade certainly getting it done, but how about Mario Chalmers doing an outstanding job of setting solid screens? So he's forcing the issue, creating the space, and then Wade doing the rest. Lakers defense, stand and watch. Won't get it done.
100% of donations awarded to cancer research. And we thank you for all your support, not only this year, but in all so many past years. Here at the Staples Center, second game of our Friday night NBA doubleheader on ESPN. And what a terrific game we have between Dwayne Wade and Kobe Bryant, their 2 respective teams. Right now, the Heat, who trail by as many as 9 with just under 6 minutes to go, now have a chance with a terrific road win. They've already beaten Portland on this trip in Portland Tuesday. Now a chance for tonight.
And you take a look at the Lakers defensively. Understand, you got me once the last time. If you're Derek Fisher, be aware of what they're trying to do. Your job is to be on the opposite side. It's the same way that they just beat you. Force Dwayne Wade to go towards Kobe Bryant's body. Worst case scenario, he throws it back to Mario Chalmers, and you can live with somebody else other than the best player dominating the basketball and making a play.
Great balance for the Heat. 6 players in double figures, all 5 starters. Wade not just scoring, distributing with 9 assists. They go to Gasol. Haslam guarding him. Gasol puts up the short shot. It's short. Artest follow. That won't go. Bynum's tip misses. Gasol right there on the follow.
You're going to battle against the Lakers. You have to gang rebound. Perimeter guys got to get in there and fight for the ball.
Look at Bryant going after Wade. The 2 stars battling each other all night. Wade on the drive. Stops. Pass deflected by Gasol. Haslam taken away. Wade puts it in. And the Heat back up by 2. A broken play, and the ball bounces in the favor of Miami.
Offense by accident, sometimes good enough.
And Bryant wants Gasol on the block, trying to get him the basketball.
No chance. Pick and roll, Kobe Bryant.
Haslam, good job. Shot clock down at 4. Bryant, shot clock at 2. Puts it up. It's going to be way short. And a 24-second violation. And now with 24.5 remaining, the Lakers are going to have to go for a steal. And if not get it early, foul. That's what Phil Jackson telling him.
And they've got to keep the ball out of Wade's hands. Try to make this go to Jermaine O'Neal coming back. But Pau Gasol is like laying back.
Haslam throws it. And now they foul Richardson.
But to me, Udonis Haslam has to keep the ball there. You don't throw it to a guy who shot 3 free throws the whole year.
You don't want to take time off the clock there?
Would that take an extra 1/10 of a second?
Right.
8/10 of a second?
Well, you hope that maybe it leads to more of that.
I want to keep that ball in my free throw shooter's hand.
Well, Richardson 2 for 2. It's only the 4th free throw all night, or all season, excuse me, for Richardson.
Really, here's how you win on the road. You got to battle and compete. When you play with force, good things happen. That time the ball finds its way in the hands of Wade, and he knocks down the little floater.
2 clutch free throws there from Quentin Richardson. He's played a real tough game. And the Heat go up by 4. This equals their largest lead of the game. Bryant to the basket. Left-handed won't go. Tipped by Bryant. Gets it. Lost it. Picked up by Wade. Chalmers had it. Gasol has it. He gets hammered. Both teams really battling. It's going to go against Quentin Richardson. And Gasol will shoot 2 free throws with 9.9 remaining.
And Wade had the loose ball, but he was falling out of bounds as Bryant missed the drive. He would have been better served throwing that thing to the other end of the court.
All right, 9.9 remaining. Again, timeouts are still left. And if Gasol hits that, it's nothing like Gasol needs to miss a free throw and get a rebound. There's still plenty of time. But the Lakers will have to foul once again. Gasol 5 for 5 from the line tonight. 2-point game. Richardson can move. They get it to Wade, and quickly a foul.
And I've always liked the idea of not giving the foul right when a team expects it. try to trap and see if you can knock it loose, even if it takes another extra second off the clock, versus just giving the bailout foul.
And I can remember playing for you. We actually won a game doing the same exact thing, coming up with a steal and scoring.
Wade has missed 5 free throws tonight, but he just hit a couple of clutch ones. After a slow start, he's had a strong game. Big one right there. That makes the 3. This, of course, next one is the critical one.
He did exactly the same thing last Wednesday against Orlando. Very poor first 3.5 quarters, and then absolutely dominated over the last 6 or 7 minutes.
Well, they've missed a lot of free throws tonight, but they've hit 8 straight here in the 4th quarter. And gets the roll. It's back to a 4-point game with just 9.3 remaining. And Phil Jackson will call a timeout. He'll have 1 left. All right. What's the strategy? What's the strategy for the Lakers right now, guys?
Well, I think you got to get a quick basket, whether it's a 2 or 3, and then look to foul immediately. There's a lot of time left in this ball game, so plenty of time for the Lakers. You don't have to force up a 3. Look to get a quick hoop and then a foul.
And a quick thing, or important thing for the Lakers, they still have a timeout remaining. They don't have to go for a 3-pointer. That's not important at all now, right?
No, but you're going to take the first open opportunity, whether it be 2 or 3. And the one thing you have to do is get the ball in so you don't have to take your last timeout.
Right, the Heat do not have a foul to give, so any foul puts them right at the free throw line, the Lakers.
Well, what's important for me, if you're the Miami Heat, recognize Kobe Bryant with the ball in his hands. Do not allow him to step into a rhythm 3. You want to keep a body on him and force him to take some time off.
Again, very impressive performance for the Heat. Last night, they got blasted in Denver by the Nuggets. Tonight, they fell behind by 9 with just under 6 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Kobe Bryant was on a roll. The place was rocking. And the Heat battled back. They just played some good, tough defense. And Dwayne Wade took over on the offensive end.
And Phil Jackson just inserted Vujacic, who's only played 20 seconds. If I am Miami, I'm making that ball go to Vujacic right now and making him shoot.
Oh, taking a lot of time. Fisher hoists up the 3. Cuts it in. Fisher makes it a 1-point game with 4.3 remaining. Still plenty of time because the Lakers have a timeout left. Richardson has to call time. Good ball denial from the Lakers, and this one's not over yet. Derek Fisher once again with a huge 3 in the final seconds.
Phil Jackson trusting his veteran. That's a set play out of the timeout. Little misdirection using Kobe Bryant as a decoy. Pau Gasol delivering the basketball on point. Help has to come off of the screen, and then Fisher. The guy has made a living knocking down big shots. This one knocks down, gives his Lakers team a chance to foul and get another look.
Well, they run the same action all the time. This is nothing new. Miami had to know this action was coming, and there had to be either better ball pressure on Pau Gasol or a switch of that back screen so you leave nobody open when they're going against a short clock.
You know, as a big guy defending Pau Gasol, you say, I'm going to back up, I don't have to pressure him. But actually, the best thing to do, like you said, put pressure on him, force him to make a bad pass, or put the ball on the floor and make a play.
So this one's certainly not over yet. The Heat are going to have to hit some free throws, even if they get fouled and hit 2 free throws. Because of that Fisher 3, Lakers still with a chance for a 3-pointer in the final seconds to tie it.
Well, Coach, you know, there's a lot of time left in this ball game to commit a foul and then draw up something where you get a good look offensively.
Well, the first thing the Heat have to do before they get to the free throw line is get the ball in. How many times did we see last year where Lamar Odom, who can't do it tonight, made it difficult to get the ball in against Denver? They've got to get the ball in oversized and over length.
So we still have 4.3 remaining. That is plenty of time. In terms of timeouts left, the Lakers have a 20 left, and the Heat have a 20. So if they have trouble getting it in, they can still call time.
And what I didn't like that last possession, taking it out of bounds, Quentin Richardson, but I didn't like the other guys. I didn't see anybody say, get me the basketball, I want to get fouled and go to the line. Too many guys going away from the basketball, not looking to come to it and knock down free throws.
And because of the timeout call, they can now advance the ball into the front court. Richardson will inbound. They put the big guy, Bynum, on him. Wade, Chalmers, O'Neal, and Haslam in the game. You can throw it in the backcourt. Wade gets free. They get to Wade in the corner. And Wade is fouled with 3.2 remaining. And now Wade will go to the line to try and give the Heat a 3-point lead.
The Heat actually were trying to get Chalmers the ball in the backcourt, but a good job by Shannon Brown. How about Dwayne Wade working to get open? Takes the contact, but he wanted the basketball. That's how you create an opening.
The Lakers still have the time, so if Wade hits these free throws, even if he misses, they'll no doubt call timeout in advance. The question will be, I was going to say, if he hits both and it's a 3-point game, does Miami foul? But that's a non-issue right now. 15 missed free throws by the Heat, although they've hit some big ones here in the fourth. That one could prove to be critical. And it's a 2-point game. Timeout, Lakers. Bill Jackson will draw up a play. 3.2 seconds remaining. Plenty of time to get off a quality shot.
Plenty of time for a team with plenty of weapons. Across the floor, they have weapons that can make you pay the price. So expect the ball in the hands of Bryant, and then you have to respect the finishing ability of Bynum, Gasol on the post, and also the knockdown ability of Fisher and Artest.
Two of the NBA's great players putting on a show here in the fourth quarter. Kobe Bryant, 14 points in the fourth, 30 for the game. Wade, 12 points in the fourth, 26 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds for the game.
To me, the Heat, by the way they play the inbounder, have got to try to track Bryant to make the initial catch go to somebody else. And I am going to disregard Vujacic. I am not. If a guy who's cold coming off the bench makes an open shot, I can live with it and go home.
And I disagree with putting him in the ball game. You need a 2. Andrew Bynum's presence in the paint will create some space for everybody else.
Lakers do not have any timeouts. The Heat in the penalty, so they can't foul. Wade is guarding Bryant. Artest looking, gets it to Bryant. Bryant dribbling, has to put it up at the buzzer. Banks it in! Oh, he banks in the 3! And the Lakers win the game! The officials have to review it, but they're celebrating already here at the Staples Center.
And that was so well defended by Miami. They put 2 on Wade to make the catch hard. He had no good look, and that is just greatness personified. Tremendous defense by Miami. The only thing I said is Haslam should have stayed on it. But when you get beat on that, you just go to the locker room and say, I couldn't have done anything about it.
And he clearly got it off in time. What a tough shot, banking in the 3. And the Lakers survived to win their 8th in a row. What a disappointing loss for the Miami Heat, who played so well here in the fourth quarter. But Kobe Bryant with 17 fourth quarter points sends this place crazy. And the fans with a standing ovation for the Lakers. Let's go to Doris Burke with the hero of tonight's game.
Very happy